2008 Kawasaki ZX-14. Bunch of changes. We first brought you a report from the drag strip where we found out this thing's just a missile. Of course, that's no surprise to anybody who knows anything about these bikes. What you do notice from behind the windscreen, though, it's got a lot better throttle response at lower RPMs. The previous generation had some electronic limiters so people don't get in over their heads, but I think Kawasaki wisely realized that these bikes aren't being sold to beginners anyway. You also notice on the ZX-14 the riding position is actually more upright, less weight on the wrists, and that makes this thing a better choice for anybody who wants to do any kind of super sport touring.
Ooh, Betsy, this is one stupid fast motorcycle. But anyway, let's keep riding. This is a lot of fun. I don't know what I was thinking 2 years ago when I didn't pick this as the winner in its first generation, that is, 2 years ago when Motorcycle.com tested these two lunatic motorcycles. Despite the fact that this thing is really fast, has a really crisp light throttle, accelerates really well, good handling, the one thing that keeps coming back to me on this bike is the absolutely unbelievable brakes.
In styling terms, I guess it's subjective. Some of us like this projector beam front end of the ZX-14. Some like the curvier, swoopier lines of the Hayabusa. I think they actually both, for their intended purpose, something big, bold, and intimidating, they both do a fine job at that. Now, nobody buys a nearly 1400cc motorcycle for fuel economy, but the ZX has a nice little trick of having a fuel economy gauge that shows instantaneous fuel economy or average. Alright, 2008 Hayabusa from Suzuki. It's kind of a legend in its own time, and for 2008 they gave it a full revision, bigger motor, a little more stonk, better brakes. Compared with the Kawasaki ZX-14, the Hayabusa is a bit more of a back road brawler. One big difference between the Hayabusa and the ZX, they both got similar power, but the engine in the Hayabusa, it's got some more vibration. You get it up around 4,500 RPM, 46, thing starts buzzing, kind of gives you an idea of what's to come when the thing gets unleashed. This thing's got tons of power as usual. It's actually got more than you can use on the street, so it's hard to let the thing unwind. There's no room. Soon you're going 150 miles an hour and you realize that you need to be somewhere on a track or something.
Well, here it is, the new old bird. Hayabusa 2008. A little bit of touched up styling, still the same wacky, cartoonish almost styling that it had in its first generation. I still like the looks of it. I don't know how to describe it. You just kind of want to run your hands over the bodywork. It's so bulbous and smooth. But they didn't just restyle the looks. Up from 1300 or roughly 1300 to 1340 cc this year. So briefly, my impressions thus far about this bike. Still fast, of course. It's a huge engine. I guess bottom line is I'm a little surprised that, having had the chance to really study the ZX-14 when they redesigned the Hayabusa, that they didn't pay a little more attention, because it seems like they're just missing a few things. It's still a great bike, although it's a few $100s more, maybe at least $300 more MSRP again than the Kawasaki. So, summing it up, still a good bike. A lot of people love it. It's been around forever. It was the standard bearer for years and years. I just wish Suzuki would have paid a little more attention to some details. Otherwise, you still can't go wrong with both these bikes.
When the road gets twisty, you notice this says no GSXR. It's quite a bit heavier than any of the GSXR series. The bodywork's wide and encompassing, so wind protection's actually quite good. And aerodynamically, it's quite slick for a big bike. Riding positions, like I said, a little bit too much weight on your wrist, but otherwise, it's quite nice. Cushy seat, and you can actually do a long day in the saddle. This thing's got so much power, you can only hold the throttle open for a second or two before you're going way too fast. Maybe that's why these things are so popular in Florida and other states that have flat, straight roads.